story all about how my life got flipped, turned upside down. And I'd like to take a minute and just sit right there. I'll tell you how I became the prince of a town called Bel Air.
What's good, Charlotte? Man. Everybody ready for the Bad Bunny concert? aka the Super Bowl? Man, everybody mad because y'all gotta use closed caption. Y'all don't know I'm Puerto Rican. Love it, man. Where my Latin people at, man? Okay, only two? Damn. No, we all rolling in one van. But yeah, man, I'm Puerto Rican, man. I love that. I speak two different languages. Messed up English and messed up Spanish. And then when I get mad and I start using both, and you don't understand me, I get mad at you. I got an uncle, my uncle was the worst, you know what I mean? He'll try to use Spanglish, and he'll mess everybody up. I'll be like, I'll be like, yo, I'm about to go to the store. I was like, what store you going to? He said, I'm going to Food Leon. I said, where you going? He said, I'm going to Food Leon. After like 5 minutes, I was like, hey, you trying to say Food Lion? He said, that's what I said. No, it's not. It's not what you said. It's not. There's pros and cons to being Puerto Rican. Like, there's a con. The con is that you're hairy as hell. You know what I mean? Like, your body wash is head and shoulders. There's ain't nothing worse than a girl rubbing on your chest area and then dandruff coming out. You know what I'm saying? That is the worst. But we try to tell y'all we don't like to get called Mexicans because we're Puerto Ricans, you know what I'm saying? Even though we do some Mexican type stuff, you know what I'm saying? I remember when Trump was like, man, we're gonna build a wall to Mexico, and all the Puerto Ricans was like, we don't care. And then he was like, we're gonna fight Russia. We was over there with the Mexicans. You want this wall how big? Yeah. My dad is one of the biggest Puerto Ricans, but he do some Mexican type stuff, man. I promise you. My dad called me up one day. He said, Ness, I bought a John Deere riding lawnmower. I said, that's what's up, Dad. He said, man, can you come and help me out, right? So I was like, okay, cool. So at this time, my dad's driving a Nissan Quest. You know, you got to remember this because this is very detrimental to the story. So I get to the house. I'm looking around, see no truck, I see no delivery people. I say, Dad, what time is the delivery people going to come with the John Deere riding lawnmower? He said, what are you talking about? It's over to here. And I was like, the riding lawnmower is here? He said, yeah, it's in the Nissan Quest. I said, Dad, you trying to tell me you fit a John Deere riding lawnmower in the Nissan Quest? He said, I put a riding lawnmower in the Nissan Quest. I was like, ain't no way, Dad. My dad went outside, popped the trunk. There was a John Deere riding lawnmower in the back of this Nissan Quest. I said, Dad, how in the hell? He said, with me, Pablo, and Warren. I said, never mind, I want nothing else. Yeah. Just turned 40. Yeah, man, I love it. So I don't really go out that much, you know what I mean? I love doing like regular things. I love watching live PD. Anybody love watching live PD? I love it. Because I'm from Columbia, South Carolina, so we on it. You know, we on live PD. So I love watching it just to see who I see. You know what I mean? They got a little real one day, you know what I'm saying? I was on the phone with my cousin Tito. And I was like, yo, Tito. He was like, what's up? He's like, I said, what you doing? He's like, nothing. He's like, well, how about you? I was like, I'm watching live PD. So the conversation was going normal. Next thing you know, I said, hey, Tito. He said, what's up? I said, damn, man, live PD around your neighborhood. He said, for real? He said, yeah. Tito got a little quiet. So the conversation keep going. I said, yo, Tito. He said, what's up? I said, live PD on your street. He said, for real? I said, yeah. He got some more quiet. I said, hey, Tito. He said, what's up? I said, I don't know if I'm drunk or not, but I think live PD pulling up to your house. Next thing you know, I see Tito caught across the TV. And just like any good show, it went to commercial. You know what I mean? So now I got to figure out what Tito doing. Get back to live PD. Tito took 4 rights in the same neighborhood. So now I'm trying to call Tito. I was like, yo, Tito, pick up the phone, man. Tito, I pick up the phone. I said, Tito, pick up the phone. He didn't pick up the phone. He finally picked up the phone. He said, man, what? I'm trying to run away from the cops. I said, well, make a left then. God damn it, then. Shit. Oh, man. We both got indicted. Just got baptized this year too, man. Yeah, man. We tried doing it at the church, in the pulpit, but we didn't have enough space or water. So we had to go to the YMCA, to the Olympic-sized pool. It was the first time in like baptism history we needed a pastor and 3 deacons to dip somebody. And then when they did me, they messed up and let me fall. So I got dipped twice. I almost drowned. You ever see somebody almost drown in the baptism? It was crazy. Nah, but I told myself, like, man, I want to meet a good woman, you know what I mean? I want to meet a good woman this year, you know what I mean? And one of my OGs was like, well, you got to go to church. I said, go to church? He said, man, you got to go to church, man. You got to let the Lord put hands on you. I said, that's what's up. He said, man, you got to let the Lord put hands on you so you can put hands on them. And I was like, I don't think that's the way it works. But then I realized that he was Catholic. Oh, man. But man, I want to get right with God, man, because I always thought about that picture that got God, you know, in the beach, and he got the footsteps and stuff like that, you know what I mean? And he's, you know, it's just one set of footsteps because it's carrying you. I won't put that pressure on God. I'm like 360, so I don't know how good his back is. I don't. Like, I think me and God is a lot alike. You know, God died and resurrected himself in 3 days. I do that shit every night. It's called sleep apnea. You know what I mean? Think I'm out a little bit better. Man. I told my mom I wanted to get cremated. She said, what makes you think you're gonna die first? I said, have you seen me eat? Cause I don't want my mom with that headache trying to figure out 6 pallbearers, you know, trying to carry me. First casket, they got a twin-size bed in it, you know what I'm saying? It's just, oh man. Anybody a hater? I'm a hater. I love haters. I don't like talented people that look good. I think that's just fine. I think you overdo it. You know what I'm saying? I really do. I don't like people. If you look good and you're talented, just shoot yourself. I don't like you. It's just bad. So I'm trying to lose weight now because I tried to do it the first time, like the cheating way. I just bought my clothes big. That didn't work out, so I made a new religion called Fatnism. And I teach people how to be fat. Because you can't just be out there and just be fat, you know what I'm saying? It's levels to this, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So the first thing you got to learn is what to eat. You know, you eat everything backwards. You know what I'm saying? You get a salad, you better put gravy on it. You know what I'm saying? Get your dessert first, you know what I'm saying? That's the first thing that you do in Fatnism. Second thing that you do, you gotta learn how to move. You know what I'm saying? You can't move too fast. You know what I'm saying? You ever seen like a group of people at the mall, and they got this one fat person, and everybody stops, and that one fat person that keeps just going? It's because we're downshifting. You know, we got the downshift for us to stop. You just can't stop at a drop of a down. That's how we tore ligaments. And we can't turn around too fast. You know what I mean? You ever seen a fat person they didn't really measure how they turn around? Now they look like they're doing a 3-point turn. It's crazy, man. And showers. When you take showers, you don't take baths. We don't have time for that. And taking a shower as a fat person is like an Olympic sport. You know what I'm saying? You out there doing lunges and stuff. You get out the shower, you don't know if you're wet from sweating or it's from the water. Yeah. It's just a lot, man. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all.
Y'all give it up for Nestor!